The goal of this training module is to decrease the possibility that you experience an injury or accident during the course of your driving career. Drivers may face one, if not all, of these hazards on any given workday, so let's not waste any time. We'll start with a topic that is relevant for everyone: slips, trips, and falls. There are several reasons for slips, trips, and falls, including uneven walking surfaces, wet surfaces, spills, and individuals not paying attention to their surroundings. Potholes, gravel, and unmarked curbs or ramps can also pose a danger. We encourage practicing the following habits to protect yourself from a slip, trip, or fall. Entering and exiting the truck or trailer incorrectly can quickly lead to an accident. Before exiting, check the ground for any hazardous conditions. Remember to keep solid contact with the equipment when entering or exiting. Maintain 3 points of contact, either with 2 handles and 1 foot or with 2 feet and 1 hand. Set any object you are holding on the floorboard or passenger side before attempting to exit. Be mindful of uneven or slippery surfaces, especially those with rocks or debris. Avoid walking in puddles or standing water because the water could be deeper than it appears. To maintain your balance on slippery surfaces, slow down. Take smaller steps. Keep your hands out of your pockets when you're walking and avoid making quick turns. Increase the traction between your feet and the walking surface by wearing slip-resistant footwear appropriate to the job and conditions. Cowboy boots, tennis shoes, sandals, or flip-flops don't provide the traction you need. Beware of spilled fuel at fuel islands. This is a very common sight for slips and falls. Also, slow down even more in locations with insufficient lighting. Moving too fast makes it difficult to see obstacles, hazards, or changes in the surface. Poor body mechanics can cause back pain. Improper lifting, twisting while moving a heavy object, or trying to lift or push too much weight at one time are a few examples of risky and improper movements. Here's what you can do to prevent an injury. Lift with your legs, not your back. If the load is too heavy, ask for help. Place your feet close to the object and center yourself with the load. Position your feet about shoulder width apart, with one foot slightly ahead of the other to improve stability. Keep your head up the entire time to protect your neck from strain. Lift straight up using your leg muscles. Bend at the knees, not at the hip. It's important to avoid jerking or lifting suddenly. Avoid any twisting or bending sideways. Turn by pivoting your feet. Take your time to maintain proper form. Follow these same guidelines when putting the object down. The driver's seat has many available adjustments. Use these adjustments to customize your seat for maximum support and comfort. In a sitting position, your knees should be only slightly higher than your hips. If your seat is too low, your knees will be too elevated. This will strain your back over time. Move the seat forward until you can easily push the pedals through their full range with your whole foot, not just your toes. Do not position the seat so far back that you feel the need to lean your head and neck forward. You should be able to operate all the controls, levers, and pedals without straining to reach them. You should have good visibility through your windows. Adjust the mirrors to you as you sit comfortably in your seat. If you're part of a slip seat operation, you may have to readjust the settings each time you enter the vehicle to optimize the seat for you. Seat belts save lives. Every time the truck is in motion, wearing your seatbelt is a federal regulation as well as a company policy. Buckling up only takes about 3 seconds. So if you buckle up 20 times a day, then it only takes about a minute out of your day to protect yourself in the event of a collision. Adjust the lap belt to fit low and tight across your hips and pelvis, not across your stomach. Place the shoulder belt snug across your chest, away from your neck. Do not put the shoulder belt behind your back or underneath your arm. When pulled over for a roadside inspection, keep your seatbelt on until the officer verifies that you are wearing it. We highly encourage you to follow these recommended climbing procedures as you enter the cab. Do not attempt to carry something while entering or exiting the cab. Place objects on the floorboard or the passenger side before climbing into the cab. For your safety, you must maintain 3 points of contact with the vehicle with 2 hands and 1 foot or 2 feet and 1 hand. Place your left hand on the inside door handle. Then place your right hand on the inside grab handle. Hold both handles firmly. Place your right foot on the bottom step, then your left foot to the second step. Move your left hand from the inside door handle to the steering wheel and pull the door closed. Secure yourself in the vehicle with your seatbelt. To exit the vehicle, it is a good idea to elevate your steering column. Slide the seat to its most rear position, then let the air out of your seat. This will create a comfortable space for movement as you exit the vehicle. Before stepping out, check the condition of the steps and the ground. Is it slippery? Are there obstructions? If all is safe, face inward and climb out using 3 points of contact to maintain stability. Remember not to carry any items when leaving. Do not jump out of the truck or exit the cab facing outward. Significant injuries occur every year due to exiting the tractor in a careless manner. Turn off the engine before handling the hood. Unlatch the hood on the driver's side. Do this carefully to avoid pinching your fingers. Walk around and unlatch the passenger side. Standing to the side, use both hands to lift the hood. Be careful not to overextend your arms. The hydraulic bar mounted underneath the hood helps to prevent it from dropping too abruptly during opening and closing procedures. When closing the hood, firmly grasp the hood with both hands, one in the handhold and the other flat against the grill to begin pushing and lifting. Ensure feet are shoulder width apart for stability. Push the hood up and back until it passes the breakover point, maintaining contact as you allow it to ease down into the closed position. Push the top half of the latch downward until it snaps firmly into the locked position. Be careful not to pinch your fingers. Repeat on the passenger side. When facing the rear of the trailer, stand on the left side of the right door and slowly open the door, looking up and down the length of the door until you are able to see if the load has shifted against the trailer door. In situations when you notice the freight has shifted against the trailer door, relatch the door and ask the customer to assist you. Do not attempt to save the freight or fix the shifting freight yourself. If the load is secure, place the handles in the holder. Use 2 hands to control the door and walk slowly. Stand to the side of the door and grip firmly with 2 hands. Walk the door to the open position. Stand to the side of the door, not behind it. Secure the door to the side of the trailer with the latch using a bungee cord. Hook the bungee cord to the seal holder with the hook facing outward. Using both hands, stretch the cord downward to hook it to the crossmember underneath the trailer. Keep your face turned away to avoid injury if the cord breaks or you lose your grip on it. When opening the left door, follow the same procedures used for the right door. Take your time to handle the doors and bungee cords properly to avoid injury. When raising or lowering the landing gear, take your time to follow the proper procedure. Wearing your leather work gloves, unlatch the handle. Watch so you do not bump your head on the side of the trailer. Carefully pull the handle away from the trailer so it is horizontal to the ground. Keep your face away from the handle. When pulling the handle out, select high or low gear to adjust the speed that the legs extend or retract. If high or low gear is inoperable, request help from your manager. Turn the landing gear handle using the proper form. Take a stance with your feet apart, one slightly in front of the other if possible. Keep your knees slightly flexed with your back straight. Keep your head up with elbows slightly bent so you don't overextend your arms. While cranking, use your opposite hand to brace yourself by placing it on the side of the trailer. Push the handle away rather than pulling it toward you. To prevent arm strain, use the strength of your leg muscles and upper body to help support the movement. Use both hands standing parallel to the trailer and shift your weight from one leg to the other as you turn the handle. Do not spin or twirl the handle. Instead, keep the handle under your control and keep your head and face clear of its motion. To pull the tandem release handle, make sure to bend from the hip and not from your lower back. Keep your back straight and your head up. Do not overextend your arm and keep your elbows slightly bent. Use a wide stance. Use your opposite hand to brace yourself. This will provide you with 3 points of contact to stabilize your body. Pull straight out to release the handle slowly and evenly. Be careful to avoid strain or sprain by not overextending your arm. Carefully secure the pull handle in place. Do not jerk hard on the handle. If the handle is too tight, you will need to reposition the equipment to reduce pressure on the pins. Releasing the tension will make it easier for you to release the pins and pull the handle. Manual fifth wheel release is a similar procedure to sliding the trailer tandem. Sometimes the unit is in a bind, making it impossible to get the fifth wheel released. In that case, move to a more level ground if possible. Set the trailer brakes and back the trailer against it. This is a very important step because it moves the kingpin slightly away from the locking mechanism, taking the bind off the locking jaw and the wedge so they can open up. If that pressure isn't released, the fifth wheel will not be released, either with the air release or manually. This is a common reason drivers end up injuring themselves, trying to yank the release handle as hard as they can. Drivers should not risk injury trying to force the equipment to do something it cannot do. If the fifth wheel is difficult to open, you will need to utilize the 3-point contact method. Left hand on wheel for leverage and support, both knees bent and at a comfortable stance. Place one foot slightly ahead of the other to add stability. Bend at the hips, not with the lower back. This keeps your spine straight. Keep your head up the same way professional weightlifters do. Don't overextend your arm. Keep your elbows slightly bent with some slack at the shoulder to avoid straining the joints when pulling the handle. With your left hand on the tire for leverage, use your right hand to pull the handle in one fluid motion. Pull straight out evenly. If the fifth wheel still will not open, stop and ask for help. At JB Hunt, a driver's health and safety is a top priority. Remember these recommendations and put them to use to reduce your risk of injury and accident. It's all part of saying, stay safe out there.